All right. Hello, Windsor, Essex County.
Once again.
It's the Hunt and Sully Show. What's
Buddy.
up, Charles?
How you doing, pal?
Doing all right, brother.
All right.
Listen, I want to start the show off tonight with a tribute to a Canadian icon. The other day, we lost Gord Downie, the frontman and showman for the Tragically Hip.
Sad day.
It was a sad day.
Sad time.
It was something that I mean, obviously, people knew that it was inevitable. I think a lot of people were hoping that it was going to take longer than what had actually transpired, but we made these shirts courtesy of Hogans Printing to say, thank you, Gord, because in my lifetime, I mean, I'm 42, so I'm not really dating myself back that far, but even going back into high school and early college days, I mean, the Tragically Hip, their music was so instrumental in certain things in my life of developing and growing in from a teenager to a adolescent and the party scene and just being around good people, campfires, great stories, a lot of cool things. And I grew up in Sarnia, so we used to do Grand Bend all the time in the Pinery, and the May 2-4 weekend was always the big shaker down that neck of the woods. So I mean, the Fully Completely album was something that we'd listen to front to back, side to side, backwards to the front. I mean, it was pretty hard, I think. I mean, you look at how receptive people were on Facebook and on social media. I mean, it's pretty cool to see how many people actually pay their respects, maybe not even meeting them or knowing them. I mean,
well, the only aspect of this that we're lucky is that how many of our idols and our heroes get taken from us, like, guess who died yesterday? Guess who died last night? And you wake up in the morning and your favorites are gone, right? Mm-hmm. But this guy, like, we knew this was pretty inevitable, right? Mm-hmm. And we had this last, like, what was it, a year ago was his last concert?
Yeah, last summer.
So we had that whole year to basically still love him while he was still here. And, we haven't got a chance to do like Chris Cornell and Tom Petty and like tons of greats, recently, and Prince, and all of a
Chester
sudden,
Benningfield.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Chester, yeah, it's like, so we had a chance to say goodbye to him, really. Yeah. Like, that's the only thing we're lucky about.
In a very cool way, too. I mean, you think about how they went out, and they went out on top, and I'm sure, did you watch the concert that CBC hosted?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it was I was like many other Canadians. I was at a concert party.
Yeah,
we were all watching it.
So we were at Rive's place, and we had probably 40 people come into his living room.
Yeah,
and his stereo cranked, and everybody sang along, and everybody knew the words of the songs. But
yeah, that's awesome.
It's pretty cool when you see not only the Prime Minister of your country come out and say, you know what, we lost a hero, we lost an idol, we lost somebody who meant so much to Canada and stayed his roots. I mean, Gord Downie and the Tragically Hip never sold themselves to that American market. They never sold themselves shy of what they wanted to do with their music. They wrote songs about hockey. They wrote songs about hockey players. I mean, they were idolized by the NHL.
As far as I understood, that they weren't big in the U.S. was because their management was a Canadian company and they didn't push for them in the States. They did good on all border cities in the U.S., but these guys who they were signed with, they weren't interested in going pushing things in the U.S. That's what I don't think that
I don't think that bothered them, because they would still play in places like Ohio and smaller like border city close to Canadian markets. They would play in Cleveland in a bar the size of Bentley's downtown when Bentley's was kicking, and it would be 30% U.S. and 70% Canadians, but people that would come from Windsor or Sarnia or whoever that would follow these guys wherever they went. And the Trues are like the next up and coming Tragically Hip. So I think they've got a big shadow to follow, but it is a sad day, and it's going to be something else, because I actually had this conversation with a buddy the other day at work. I said, how big do you think his funeral is going to be? When you really think about how many people coast to coast, okay, that can afford to travel by plane to Kingston.
Well, we talked about that, Dave.
We
talked about it. Since I went to the Austin City Limits Festival, I covered that. You said you were going to go to Kingston, and you were going to go to that.
Hey,
you're right.
The roving reporter, live and on scene.
Yeah. Dave for WePodcast. You have a microphone now. But anyways, it's going to be a giant, slow walk down the streets of Kingston.
Absolutely. So, So Gord, if we had a beer, we'd cheers you, brother. Looked up to the Lord above and said, "Hey, man,
thanks, Gord."
Yeah, thank you.
We love you, man. You're the best.
So
just one more thing about it is this: You know, he's our Canadian poet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had more time with our Canadian poet than the Americans had with their American poet because Morrison's been gone for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We still got to have our Canadian poet, man.
We almost
He's
got,
equivalent.
Yeah. 20 some odd years over Morrison, because Morrison was, what, 27 when he passed away?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Gord was 53.
Yeah, we're lucky. Canadians are lucky, man. Tons of heritage. You got to say goodbye to him, you know, like...
Yeah,
man, he still, you know, cropped up enough energy to do that last concert and tour, and you know what? We're lucky, us Canadians, to have had him and have had it go the way it went. Anyways, I guess even though him being gone is such a downer, but
well, I just want to let you know that tonight, and I'm sorry that I didn't tell you earlier, but we blew the budget on signage tonight. I went neon.
Well, yeah,
I stayed up all night. I made that with my bare hands. I'm sorry I asked you if you could do it with metal, but yeah. We needed we needed the light effect to it. So
yeah, the neon is hip.
Yeah, it's very
hip. It's totally hip, man.
It's tragically hip.
Thank you, Gord.
Thank you, Gord.
It's tragically hip, yes.
All right, so we have a good show lined up for you tonight. We have a very special guest. I'm sure everybody in Windsor knows Mr. Mark Boscariol.
Mark Boscariol,
a entrepreneur, restaurant entrepreneur, and entrepreneur of many other things. He's very reputable and very well respected in the Windsor market, and we want to bring him in later on the show to talk about the Austin city limits that he and Chuck and his brother and a few other hooligans went down to Austin, and they got some good stories that came out of it.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and speaking of stories, I got one for you. So, a buddy of mine, and we're not going to name any names, but a buddy of mine calls me up last week, and he says, "Hunter, do you want to come on this bikes and beers tour?" I mean, bikes is in motorcycles. He goes,
terrible idea.
Pedal bikes.
When?
Yeah. Okay, so let me get this thing straight. You want us to ride on pedal bikes and drink beer? Are you fucking crazy? Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
I hope you guys are selling tickets before they do this.
and elbow pads and helmets and shin guards and the whole nine. So I decline. So the next day I get a video, and it's basically a synopsis at the end of the evening after they did a few tours and had probably a few too many beers. But we're going to hide the identity of the people involved. So let's roll the tape, Joe, and see how this Bikes and Beers Festival or tour turned out for some lucky Riverside folks.
For some lucky guys who get to be on the show.
Hey, turn that. We got to turn that. Go.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Okay, so right there.
Hey, all the innocent were protected. Even the guilty were protected.
We'll call him Mr. Brown and Mr. Pink. So Mr. Brown, who did the jump,
oh my God,
he snapped his collarbone in
my
two
God.
spots. So basically, where your shoulder is to where your I don't know what you call it, your neck, that little section of bone is gone. It's broken. It's in purgatory, floating around his body somewhere.
A piece of steel got to get put in there or something, man.
Hook him up.
I'll get some steel. Yeah, some non-ferrous metal, some stainless.
Hook him up. It reminds
Hammer
me
up a couple holes, some flanges.
The last time I did Bikes and Beers, I was in my I think grade 12, and a buddy of mine won a provincial ball tournament in Sarnia, and he said the ball team's having a big shaker at my place. Come on over. So I said okay. So I packed up a 12-pack of tall cans, my beer bong in a backpack, and I rode my 12-speed. I left my car at home because I knew I was going to get,
beer bongs were so huge, eh?
Dude,
they were so huge. Everyone had them. Like
the big funnel.
The funnel, yeah. Like I one at a time, one beer at a time.
Dude,
I could never do like two beers.
We were doing 2 and 3, and then somebody would pour tequila in the end of it. It was just
one. Oh yeah.
bad.
Or the times it was like they would do it. They don't even tell you what's going in. It's like drambuie and tequila.
And then you get a
left
little bit of
over
peach schnapps,
kickaboo joe juice, man.
and then a cigarette butt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
that's why you needed one of those filters in it.
Get shit canned at this party, completely fall down drunk.
No,
and
really?
and then I realized that I have to go home, and I know that I had to ride my bike. So did the right thing, and I left my backpack and everything there, and
call cruise control. And
can I get a double?
You went on the handlebars and they double rolled you home.
So I made it home. I remember going down this one-way street, going basically curb to curb. Didn't hit anything. By the time
curb to curb, pinball wizard has to be the gist.
I hit my driveway, which was gravel, the skinny 12-speed tires, kick out from underneath me. I'm on my ass and my back, smash my head. I'm out cold. Okay.
Well, you only heard about the face, chest, breast, neck, and head area.
Yeah. I was body cast, and I could hear the guy who lived in the apartment above me laughing at me. And I'm just like, woke up in the morning. My bike was gone. I stayed in the driveway.
You stayed there and slept there?
Oh, yeah. Nobody picked me up.
Oh, my
Bikes,
God.
Bikes
What time did this happen at?
Oh, this was dark, so probably like 12:30.
12:30? You were
Yeah.
there till like, I don't know, 7 in the morning?
Sunlight. Yeah. You can hear the birds
Oh, you're
chirp.
out, you're-
I'm
you're-
on gravel.
you're
I'm like,
home,
oh
you're-
my God. Do the one eye like, oh God. Yeah, I'm home. Bike's
So,
gone,
like,
and
you
I
didn't-
lost my keys, so I
you
couldn't
did-
even get in my house to get my car keys.
Like, you didn't get hit in the head with a newspaper in the morning, so the kid in his paper route, they just throw it right at
missed
the
ya.
guy. Hey, whack! Just
Hey,
throw it right
missed
at
ya.
this guy.
Hey, buddy. People start patting
That's
me
what I
down
do.
for-
I'd throw it right at you, and if you woke up, I'd say, "Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I missed." Yeah.
Hey, as you're stealing my watch and my shoes, you bastard. Anyway, let's bring Mark in. Let's talk about
Yes.
your shaker.
Let's bring him in, man. The one and only wonderful guy.
All right.
So listen, I was very, very honored to be invited onto the show, but I'm starting to worry that I'm suspect that this is a sort of a setup. He got me in the middle wearing a different shirt, so I'm thinking Sesame Street, one of these things doesn't belong here. He got me blocking the sign, making me one of the most hated people in Canada right now.
All right, Chuck.
So
He's
now
on-
he's
he's on to
talking about
us.
replacing collarbones with steel, talking about turning people into cyborgs. He doesn't. I'm here to name names. I don't care about what you're not. I'm not protecting any of the
No,
innocent
we
on
can
this
drop
house.
names all
If
you
you
want.
wipe out in that chair, we're gonna operate on you right here.
Oh yeah, and then not even
Scalpel.
no water among thieves gonna leave me laying there like Dave.
Hey, like me in the driveway.
Who
Grab
knows what
his
you're gonna steal?
grab his Chuck Taylors and his $15 cash.
So yesterday was a very bittersweet day for me because even though I've been celebrating it since Thursday, it was my birthday yesterday on Gord Downie's, and so I do have an amazing amount of respect and appreciation for the guy. So I just wanted to say that, and then maybe if we lead into you had something to say, Dave.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor tonight, which is a big kudos to Dan and Doug Hogan from Hogans Printing. They're at 1409 Drouillard Road, hogansprinting.com. Danny was kind enough to push these shirts that Chuck and I are wearing that say thank you, Gord, that we're going to offer to people who are interested in purchasing for $20. $5 of each shirt will go to the Sunnybrook Foundation in Toronto, which was the hospital that Gord was getting cancer treatments at, which is pretty big. I mean, we'll get more into that, but check us out on Facebook. Check my page out at David Hunter and then Chuck Sully, and I'll keep you guys posted with the information. But I want to say thank you to Dan and Doug from Hogans Printing for pulling
you,
through
boys.
pulling through the clutch. Gord would be very impressed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So what transpired? You guys got on a jet plane
So
and went to.
Can I give a little background about how this trip started?
Please.
Yeah.
So what happened is I've been going to Austin, Texas ever since I founded the Windsor. One of the people that founded the Windsor International Film Festival, which starts on October 30th. Got to get a couple plugs in there. and I went there to South by Southwest to see how to make the film festival better. And that's how we started Flick Fest and music video contest. And I just fell in love with this city. This city. I mean, I used to like Vegas and be all impressed with Vegas. And then I go to Austin. I'm like, I see you get in the city and it's kind of looks average. And then you start going into the businesses and going into the districts and the creativity and the imagination. It blows you away.
Is it big? Is it big? Like a
It's
big town?
it's 1 million people. But when I went there, it was only 700,000. They've never experienced a recession, so they've always grown. 2001, 2008 doesn't matter what happens. That city grows and does well.
New buildings everywhere.
They have
Tons of
two
new
mottos.
buildings.
They have two slogans. One is the live music capital of the world, and one is keep Austin weird, support your local businesses. Did you notice this, Buck? Did you see any chain restaurants down there? You see any McDonald's? See any Burger
No,
Kings?
you know something?
And
You're right. I didn't
n-
see any of that.
It's not because they stop them or block them. It's because the people, if they open them up, the people don't go to them.
They don't go to them, yeah.
They support their local business. Because I love
so
that
awesome,
slogan,
man.
buy local or buy local.
Yeah,
you know? You know, so in
That's smart. That's a good way
and
to
then
look at
then last year I planned a Bourbon Trail trip for my 50th birthday and because of what was going on with my building where the downtown pizza company is now open, I had to cancel it. So this year I'm like, you know what? I'm making up for missing my 50th. Plus interest, and that's so I put this trip
It took
together.
12 of us to do it.
And
You.
Chuck was a last minute entry to this because what happened was someone canceled. Our friend Bob Stanovich from California canceled.
Damn you,
and
Bob.
I was talking to
Thanks, Bob.
And
Son of a
Buck's
bitch.
Buck's brother Pete was I call him Buck. I don't Chuck or Buck.
Yeah, buddy, he knows me as Buck.
Yeah, so
Bucky.
and I saw this
Lucky.
opportunity with me and Pete. It's like, well, why is Buck not coming? This is guy. musician, drummer, Austin, live music capital of the world. It just had your name all over it.
I know it did, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it, buddy. It was incredible. I just
Now he was worried. He almost backed out too because he saw they had that music festival shooting and that. And I told him
man,
that
I was almost gonna back out. I was like, you know what, the U.S. is all cracked
and
up.
I
man.
told him I told him
Guns,
there's
I
a
was
ticket
like,
upgrade for body armor.
Should I not go?
That was
He
what,
goes,
2 weeks after the fact, right?
It was 2
2
weeks
weeks?
after.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I seen a lot of those.
And there was
stuff
people
about
at the
that
City
Vegas shooting.
Limits
It was nuts, and
Festival holding signs saying "We are not afraid" for Las Vegas. So.
Oh yeah, it was. Everyone was there fearless. We were totally
Yeah.
safe. It was a 350-acre festival. That
Crazy.
was.
I don't know how many people, 100,000
stage.
people. It was 8 stages,
Eight stages.
every stage was a giant stage. It wasn't like one
Yeah.
main stage. Like I don't even like
Yeah,
the
it
main
was
stage
like
was
a
almost
full
the same
stage.
size as the
It was
other
like,
ones.
Yeah, full
Like full
stage.
production,
you'd be
every
at-
stage had
and
full
you had-
production.
You see a concert, see
You had
one person, it was that
simultaneous
big.
slows
Wow.
shows of Chance the Rapper at the same time. The Chili's,
Yeah.
so there was amazing shows all at the same time. 50 bands played,
Wow.
over 3 days.
So it was,
Friday, Saturday,
it was all
Sunday.
mixed, like there was mixed genres, right?
Oh
Country,
yeah,
rap.
Honestly, you know what one of my favorite shows was, which I didn't think would be like Ice Cube. And he's playing all his 1989 rap stuff, but he was such a good entertainer, and it was amazing. Like I actually enjoyed that as one of my best shows, and I wasn't a rap
little
guy.
NWA coming out on him?
Yes, he did.
Did he really?
He's playing. It was crazy because he did the F the Police song, and how the times have changed. Because after he sang, it, he did a disclaimer. He goes, "Now I don't mean those Texas police."
And I'm not riding in that Cadillac right there, so don't pull me over. Okay,
And
so
then-
what is F the Police?
That's
I'm
that
kidding.
song. Yeah. So the
Mark is the whitest guy we've had on studio in our show.
and then the other reason I went to the show is because I just opened Downtown Pizza and I needed stuff to decorate it. And there's the coolest stuff in Austin.
Yeah, Mark, you bought all
So-
those little mini guitars and all the mini instruments.
And
man.
they're
Like,
replicas. So there's a replica of Dave Grohl, there's a replica of Prince's, and that's on one
Those
wall.
things are awesome,
and then we
buddy.
had a bunch of other shelves because there's sort of a 60s themes going on. So there's a lot of 60s knickknacks. Eh?
So it's like little, like not toys, but you call them like models.
Yes,
like
of guitars.
Oh, cool.
But they're replicas about this high, and they're exact replicas, right? So there's a Jimi Hendrix guitar replica. There's a Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters replica.
That's cool.
Yeah,
It was an amazing city, man. And like after I walked home from the concert one night, which I probably took like an hour of walking. I don't know, maybe more. We took this long.
Okay, hang on.
We took this long route. We usually take this one exit, and we didn't. We have the other end, and we
there's
just
so
left.
many
It was
districts
dark.
so spread out
And,
too.
and me and Tim, we walked home. It took us like I swear, like an hour of walking home, right? Yeah. And we get just to get to the city. And then we get to the city, we're like, let's just get in here and have a beer, man. So we pull in a smoke, let's have a beer. Outdoor, like bands playing, and all the outdoor patios. It's all like fine stone. It's not cement patios. It's all like stone. But like really fine aggregate,
but
right?
you can't sit in it though, like with your
No,
chairs.
there's
like
chair.
you-
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
you don't
there's,
sink in it.
yeah, there's all the furniture, all the entertainment, all the furniture.
There's one district called the Rainy District. It's all residential houses that have converted to restaurant bars, and the front and backyards are the
that's
patios.
awesome.
It's
But it's like screenings of stones.
That's cool.
Like that's what you're walking around in. And we walk into this one place, and it's like beer pong, throw the into the red cup. They had
Drink.
They had life size. They had giant garbage cans like this painted red. Okay. And there was like a pyramid of 5 of them. And then, 25 feet away or whatever it was, there's another pyramid of 5 of them. And you're throwing a volleyball, buddy.
beer pong with a volleyball.
Beer pong,
How
giant.
awesome would that be?
You put the ball in there, you just take that one away. You know what I mean? Guy drinks, you
Yeah.
put it in, and you play
Some
on
bars
like
have
this.
movies playing on the wall. So it's everything. It's anything you can
Like
think
totally
of. Anything
interactive
goes.
for.
It's
That's
like
cool.
we got a Let's Street. That's our one street. They got like 20 of them.
Yeah.
20 streets like that, just full.
5 districts with
Where do they
clean.
get all those bands to fill all those bars?
and
It's
every place. So you're going
supportive
down the
there of
street with
music
30
and
bars
art.
on each side of the road, and every place has a live musician playing or a live band. And
They shut down 6th Street for like almost like a kilometer and a half. And both sides is bars. They shut it down every Friday and Saturday night. The cops shut it down. People all on the streets. Like he said, every bar has got a different
main
band.
floor and second floor. It's ridiculous.
So you can't drive. It's strictly walking.
yes,
Just that night.
just
Why don't
they
that
do that
night. They shut it
downtown
down
here?
at 6 o'clock at night.
6th Street every Friday, Saturday night.
What's the thing they do down here? The walk, the market thing where they shut down like 6 kilometers of the downtown core from.
Yeah.
Do they? Why don't they just shut down?
Well, what they need to do is like I look. We do the monthly the Williston night market.
Mm-hmm.
We're only allowed to do 4 patio extensions a year. We were trying to do them through catering through third party before, and it's so many rules and obstacles. Where again in Austin, it's support your local businesses. So they take away all the obstacles. They take away all the obstructions. I mean, even when you see construction, you see these giant signs promoting the businesses where the whole city's built around supporting local business.
It's incredible.
So
There's
Windsor could learn a lot from there, and that's where that's why I have a problem with Windsor. We need more well-traveled Windsorites.
How do we do a bus trip to Austin?
Yeah, with
some
some
with the
they
right
just-
people.
Well, I don't know. We send some counts. We send some counts.
Out of Volkswagen.
It's got to be a 2.5 day drive. I don't know.
It's
road
20.
trip.
It's a 3-hour flight. But we sent counselors to Italy, and that they didn't get it. So I mean, if they're I don't know
Yeah,
if
but
they'll get it.
Italy's a far cry from Austin.
Dave,
But they
That would be
sent
more-
them to an urban living
Dave,
conference.
don't you remember what happened when you and I tried to drive to Italy?
in the 119. In the 119. You think this thing's gonna make it? Don't worry,
But I gotta
Chuck.
tell you-
we brought extra
Can I tell
silicone
you-
tubes, remember?
Second gear scratch.
Can I
Well, you
tell you
rate the
one
Pete's
story about what
shop.
kind of trip it was?
Yeah, man.
So the Friday night, the festival ends at 11, and then the band's playing all our bars over the city, right? So we're across from this well-known club called the Continental Club, only 250 seats. There's a band playing there, but all of a sudden a lineup starts forming. So I go to the guys, I'm like, let's get in line. They're like, well, what is it for? I'm like, I have no idea, but there's a line for them, and something's going on, right? So I'm getting to the front of the line, and
It's my anticipation.
I only got four
killing
of
me.
us to join. So some of them did. We don't even know what this for, Mark. We're leaving. So we're in line. All of a sudden, lineup. The place only holds 250 people. Lineup gets to be 400 or 500 people. So I go to the people behind me. Go, what's this lineup for? And they're like, you're at the front line, and you have no idea what the goddamn line's for.
You at the front?
Yeah, we're like 10, 20 people from the front. I'm like, they go, the Killers just announced they're doing a surprise concert here in
on.
an hour. So I'm from here to you from the front stage trying to high five the singer. I got it on video where our hands are like missing each other like that much.
Hey, he's trying. Yeah.
Come on! It's like,
Like Titanic.
yeah.
And you know what he said to his buddies after the show? He goes, "Do you see that? I almost got the high five, Mark Boscariol. I almost got him. I almost got him. I couldn't believe he was there."
Yeah.
So, hey, tell me what happened when you met. The Chili's.
So yeah, the first day we got there Thursday. The day before we got taken the sites, go check out some shopping, walk around. And there's this like old hotel which is not close to downtown. We were out of the downtown, but the street goes way long, tons of shopping. So there's a hotel there. Like so hot, let's just get a cab home. So we'll go order a cab. Just while we're waiting, I'm in the lobby and I see Anthony Kiedis. He's at the front desk with his kid, right? And I got a backpack on with like beer and whatever in it.
I didn't hear the story.
Okay, yeah. And I get up with my backpack. I'm like, I walk over, I go, Anthony. I'm like, holy jeez, man.
He's like, Chuck.
And he's like, hey, how you doing? He just goes, yeah, like this, eh? And I go, I can see him like apprehensive. I just go, okay, I got a backpack. I'm like, okay. I go,
Full of
I go,
TNT.
I go, rock on, buddy. He goes, will do, right? And I could see I wasn't gonna bug him anymore. So, and then we sit down. Todd Rive goes, hey, you think anybody else in the band, Red Hots, are staying here? I go, I don't know, buddy. I don't know if they get along or what happens. And we walk outside to get in our cab. Freaking Flea is there, right? I don't walk up to Flea and I'm like, Flea, buddy, how you doing, man? I'm like, can I get a picture? He's like, no. Like this, right? And we're with Mark Boscariol, and I told him what happened. He goes, really? Flea was there, eh? He goes, too bad we didn't have any bug spray.
I have several pictures with him, by the way.
And his real name is Steven. It's not Flea.
Yeah, show him.
Oh,
He enjoys water skiing.
That was crazy.
Water
We
polo.
usually can I tell them the Chuck story? I like that.
The
So
what?
I'm
no.
getting changed to go out, right? Go to the doorway. I see Buck. He's got two beautiful blondes invited into the room. So I figure he's gonna start off with his opening line, his standard. Hey, my name is Chuck, and I like to. But he
Hey, usually it's does this cloth smell like ether?
I never tried that line ever.
Swear to God.
Yeah, I have half a brain in my head. I have 3/4 of a brain.
Him and this girl. The girl's name is Tuck. They have
Tucker.
Next
Tuck
thing you
and
know,
Buck.
they're
Tucker
talking
and
about
Bucker.
They're
The Tuck
going to
and
do a
Buck show.
TV show, The Chuck and Tuck. It's
The
going to be
Chuck and Tuck show, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds dirty. All right,
No,
we're
it was
gonna stop
actually
there.
Paul
one of
that
those crime
invited them.
dramas.
They walked by and I said, hey girls, how you doing? They walked there and then Paul actually they walked by a second time. That's when Paul goes, girls, you want to come in and do a shot of whiskey?
Yeah, we had like a,
So they
a,
come
a
in, they did
tattooed
a
hipster
shot.
we were using to bait girls in.
Watch this.
Oh my God. But those girls, they had their own agenda, man. They spent time with us for like about 3 minutes.
So
And then
this
they
is
were
a
gone.
stupid
There
que-
they were, gone.
Stupid question. You do that again?
Would I do it again?
Would you do it again?
For sure. I would do it differently next time though.
I think next year, if you guys do it, I'm not going to invite myself, but I'll go with you if you want.
Okay.
If you want.
It's a great city. You
Joe-
would do that for us?
And
You
Joe, our
would do
producer,
that?
I would do that for you guys. And we're bringing Joe, our producer, with us too with his camera.
Look, at the ACL, make sure you don't hurt your ACL, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I won't be carrying any 60-pound ship steering wheels and falling down rabbit holes
Yeah,
again.
yeah. There's not many rabbit holes there. But you know what? Bats are big there. There's no mosquitoes. None.
They have this thing
got
where
so
there's
many
one
bats.
bridge that's filled with bats, and every night at dusk, the whole city you look up and they're just covered with bats. And that's actually how they originated to keep Austin weird, because it's just a really weird place.
Yeah.
And
It's got
that-
this,
and
this
they- and they
river that
seize-
runs through it. This big wide river that runs right through it.
Yeah.
It's probably half the width of the Detroit or something.
There's
like
actually
this.
a swimming spot down in that
Sounds
river
like a
too.
river.
There's
Is
a
it?
whole big swimming hole and people are kayaking. It's just
incredible.
a great
Okay,
city,
you know
man.
what we didn't even get to is the food in Texas, the food in Austin. Oh my God, Mark, we must have went to like 30 restaurants.
Oh, we know.
Well, it was
There's
these
six
tours for me. You
restaurants
got to
a day.
remember
Mark
these,
posted every restaurant he ate at.
these tours
Oh my
for me
God,
for my
so
restaurants.
incredible,
I
man.
call them R&D tours, which for me stands off for rip off and duplicate.
Yeah.
Write that down. Write
Yeah, I'm
that
glad
down.
you remember
Rip off
that.
and
I told you.
duplicate. That's
You gotta
awesome.
say it in the show, man. Yeah, rip off and duplicate.
And so we went with the chef, and then our cook Bishop at Snack Barbecue, and these guys from Snack Barbecue, Bishop and Paul Doman, they're in the 30s, so these are our connection to the next generation,
Yeah.
and they just saw this, they're like, what that?
Yeah.
They're just blown away.
I think it's the
They're
best
great.
concert I've ever seen. 350 acres, all those stages. I think it's the best concert I've ever been to.
I never experienced,
Yeah.
like South by South is
Ever.
different
Like,
because
it was 3 days. It's like there's so much great
Did
music.
you get drained though?
Oh, buddy, it was super hot.
Yeah.
And
See, that's the thing. 'Cause I
Yeah.
remember
the
doing the
sun
Star
was
Show.
crazy.
But here's the thing: what I would
Yeah.
do next to we bought a 3-day pass to the show. I just do a 1-day pass. There's so many other things to do in Austin.
Yeah.
The concert for 1 day is enough. You just go to the headliner day,
Yeah,
see
do the
5
big
bands.
shows,
You know, you're
big
going
shows.
from noon to, I think it starts at 10 o'clock or 10:30, and it goes right till 11 at night.
Like I know, but you know, Mark. I mean, there was like when we went there, we went for like 3 hours a day.
So and
You
some
know,
of the other
and-
bands.
and I think I think in the future I'd like to have that ticket.
I
still,
saw
just
this
to
one song,
be able to go there, man.
Wolfpack or something. It says one band called Wolfpack, and that.
Oh,
I don't. It was
Volbeat.
oh,
Volbeat. Volbeat.
No, it's
They're from Denmark. Those are the guys that opened for Metallica and.
This one was more like a jazzy band or something
Okay,
like
no, it
that.
was
But they
definitely
were
Volbeat.
awesome.
Volbeat's heavy metal.
So there's bands there you've never heard of, and it's just amazing.
Dubstep music. They had a tent was dubstep.
And I'll tell you what, I
All kinds
remember.
of,
I remember
far
first
out
time.
Jap animation people like
But
Crazy,
all,
man.
but all the live music is
Japanese.
great. I remember first time I went to South by Southwest. I go up to this bar. I see this band playing. They're playing amazing, right? They're an amazing band. I looked at the bartender. I'm like, who are they? Which famous band are they? I'm like, dude, that's like our local Tuesday night band. I'm just
They were that
they're-
good?
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone,
oh my
everybody
God.
plays their heart out there.
unbelievable.
Did you try to get up on the drum set?
No,
I've done that
no,
before.
shoot,
I've done
no.
that before in.
But even remember the
That's
jazz
Sturgis.
night, even the slow jazz night. That drummer, he was
Yeah,
good, man.
He was
with
great,
with the
man.
brushes.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
player. Yeah, true.
You didn't get into the zone.
Oh, he was totally. He was playing traditional, matched grip, and like he was awesome. It was just his drum fills were fast. He's a true player.
And
Like,
this is
Like
just
Buddy,
their Sunday
Buddy
night
Rich kind
guy.
of shit like that.
yeah, jazz kind of
Nice.
just
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
that-
Buddy. Buddy is you can't touch him, right? But
it was
it was
good.
just good, solid jazz.
Yeah.
3 guys, stand
Yeah,
up.
but we had to tell your brother like leave because he's gonna get too loud in there. We're like, no, this is not the place to be, Pete Sully.
Peter, it's
Peter?
time for you to go home now, Pete.
Settle down, man. Settle down. You're magic, but
Stifle.
but
Stifle Peter.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to McDonald Automotive. We just started this Little Things Matter funded, and McDonald Automotive contributed $1,000 to the neighborhoods in downtown Windsor, and I want kudos to him, man.
Attaboy.
So
Boy,
he did
Peter.
good. He
Attaboy,
had
Peter.
fun and did
Peter.
good.
Peter,
Yeah.
good boy.
you're the man.
Pumpkin eater.
Mark, thanks for coming in, brother.
Thank you very much, man. Time
Mark.
flies here.
Mark,
Yeah, it
thanks,
does.
buddy.
Yeah. Okay,
Hey,
thanks.
so as we end the show, Chuck and I have been talking about doing these voiceovers because we think it's kind of funny and we've got a good sense of humor. So I'm going to tell you a quick story about something I saw online that I thought was actually kind of humorous. There was a guy who was flying a drone in northern Ontario, just taking in the nature in the fall, and he caught a glimpse of a bull moose, basically just standing in this quiet river by himself and just enjoying a nice summer day or fall day, and out comes a timber wolf.
Yeah,
So I think today could be our first day to do our
could be a voiceover.
Hunts and Sully voiceover.
I got a voice prepared.
All right,
I got one prepared, man.
let's do this. So here's the scenario right here. Have a look. Just minding his own business.
Yeah, it's a nice
Here
day.
comes
Oh,
the
look at
big
this,
kitty.
man. I'm starving. You could
Oh,
you
who are
look like
you?
something I could handle right about now.
Hey, man.
Get over here, man. Just come here. I'm going to do it the right time, and I am going to catch you.
You're a wolf.
You know what? I'm Wile E. Coyote.
You son of a bitch.
I'm Wile E. Coyote.
Get out of here.
Don't make me call up
I
Acme.
swear to God, I'll stab your head.
You're the
You
biggest
son of
road
a
runner
bitch.
that
Get out
I've
of
ever.
here.
You're the biggest road runner I've ever seen, and I'm starving.
Beep, beep. Come on. Get out of
Ow,
here.
ow.
Oh, yeah.
Just get over here. Come here. Come here.
Get off my
come
leg.
Here, come here.
God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Get over here.
This is what we call the moose stomp.
I'm starving. What are you? There's no time to start a new dance, you know.
You're worse than my ex-wife. Get off
I'm
me.
starving. Get over here. I got a hold of you
My
now.
wallet's not in my back pocket. Get off me!
You're not going anywhere. Get over here. You're mine. I'm starving.
Hey,
Come here.
he's trying to drown him.
Come here.
So, so,
Yeah, just about tired you out.
so this poor moose has the wolf stuck on his leg, and he's doing everything to get this prick off him. So this best part of the entire the entire clip is coming up in a second here.
Yeah, look
he will not let go of his front leg.
You got some stinky armpits there, buddy, but I don't mind. I'm gonna
I
eat
got
those
mold
things
juice,
later.
moose juice. The moose is loose.
They don't got food like this in New York, I tell you.
Hey, just go round and round and round, and here we go. Dizzy him out.
Yeah, that's it, man. You're for me. That's it. The biggest
All right,
road runner
hey.
in the world.
Watch, he's gonna get. Oh, here he's gonna shake him in about I don't know, about 3-4 minutes from now.
Look, I got
Oh,
you.
there,
Come here.
There he stomps
If you
him.
don't do it, you can't tell the story.
Hey, watch.
Come here. There you go. You're mine. You're mine.
All right,
Come here.
and here we go. He's like, peace out. Now this is where it gets good.
Just
Now-
about
oh,
had him. Where you going?
I'm out of here, you douchebag.
You ain't so tough.
Hey, here, kitty. Come on, kitty. Catch up, bud.
Yeah.
Catch up.
Where are my brothers? They said they were going to meet me here, for God's sakes. How far
Hey,
away
he's
am I
like,
from the
"Fuck you."
shore?
Fuck you. Bite my leg, you prick.
Just about, just about. I
Yeah.
can touch now. I can
Hey,
touch.
watch, he stops and taunts
I
him
can
for a
touch.
sec.
Oh, now I'm running.
Hey.
Now he's mine.
Hey, bud. Hey. Let's
Oh,
go
I
over
can't
here.
believe I let him go.
Oh, hang on. See ya.
Get back here.
And he's high stepping it now.
Long-legged.
Yeah, that's the end of that one. That's the end of that one. So
Hey, come on. I'm not done yet. Get over here.
not done yet.
I'm starving.
Yeah, that's the moose just
We're
says
gonna have to just settle for a fish again.
for a pop.
Well, you can see that wolf looked back at the camera already once
Yeah, he knows.
at the drone.
He knows. He's like, will you stop recording? This is horseshit.
So maybe the wolf is actually scared of the drone, and he's running away from the drone, or do you think he's trying to get the moose?
I think he wants the moose. He's probably shitting his pants. That's what's. And look, the moose is gonna watch this. He goes in a.
Boy, if I had some pants,
He goes in a
my
high
drawers
step
would be
mode.
full right now.
That poor thing has
He
no
looked
idea.
up again.
Looked up to the Lord above and said, "Hey man,
Hey man,
Thanks.
can you shoot this moose for me?
come on, Gord, pull it out of the
Come
clouds
on,
and
only in
pop
3
this
feet of
moose."
water. I'll eat it right here.
You got any wine? Got any
Come
wine?
on, he's looking out for his brothers too. Like, where are all those guys, man?
All right, that's good. We good?
We're good.
We're good. Good show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you
Peace.
guys later.